You are now listening to the RSL Show on KSL Sports, Utah's largest sports network. Your number one source for everything Real Salt Lake. Utah's number one rated Real Salt Lake podcast.
All right, welcome in. It's a brand new edition of the RSL Show here on the KSL Sports Network. Alex Napoles, Josh Clark, Carson Lantz, all coming at you today to bring you the latest and the greatest with Real Salt Lake. However, not so great as RSL's coming off a 2-1 loss to league leaders Vancouver. We'll jump into that momentarily, but first, let's take a look at some news around the league. First of all, Real Salt Lake made a signing. Probably not the signing that we all thought or probably that we all wanted, but it could be a really, really good signing. Real Salt Lake signed Diego Rocio from Philadelphia, one of the younger players coming up from this generation tournament, and now going to be a part of the Real Monarchs, at least for the time being.
Yeah, this is a futures signing. You know what I mean? Not the splash we need right now, but maybe the next guy to come in and fill the shoes of a Diego Luna when he moves on. The next heir apparent, right? The next youngster to make waves.
Yeah, I really like this signing. If you keep up with like the young guys around the league and what's going on, Philadelphia has been having a lot of players, like young players, leave, and Rocio was one of them who actually declined a contract with Philadelphia Union to sign for their second team, and he made it pretty well known that he wanted a first team contract. And it seems like Real Salt Lake came in and offered him that first team contract and said, "Hey, we'll take you. Come here. We'll let you develop and maybe get a chance with the first team."
I like the move. Like Josh Manson mentioned, it's a future move. It's for the future. And it could potentially be an heir apparent to Diego Luna, who Diego Luna right now is on a phenomenal tear. Quite easily the best player Real Salt Lake has right now. And it'll be sad to see him go, man. It's going to happen. It'll come eventually. But I like that they're laying the bricks for a potential backup plan, for a potential next man up. And we could see that with Diego Rocio.
Absolutely. And let's be real, I'll be sad if Luna stays. As much as he's, the heartbeat of the team right now, for his career and his personal growth and what it could mean for Real Salt Lake if he were to go on and have this crazy career, in a bigger league. I don't want him to miss that opportunity. So I think this signing is kind of, that warning signal that a move may happen this summer, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think I would be pretty sad too if Luna didn't get that move soon. I feel like he deserves that move, and it's going to be a sad day when he leaves, but I'm going to be even more sad if he stays here even longer. But I mean, I love this Diego Rocio move. He was born in 2007, so he's only 17 years old. But just something I found out about him, he's a smaller forward who can play striker and wing. And I guess he just knows how to bag goals. Like last year, he was MVP in the 2024 GA Generation Adidas Cup. And while doing that, Philadelphia won that tournament, and he scored five goals in the knockout stage, which is absolutely wild. Like, he didn't score any goals, and then he goes in the knockout stage and just pops off with 5 goals. Like, that kid's got ice in his veins. And he also, one fun fact, he's represented Mexico at the under 18 level, and so that's interesting to hear about him as well.
Eligible for both the United States and Mexico. He's already made his professional debut with Philadelphia Union 2, with the MLS Next Pro side of Philadelphia, and so now he'll be moving over to Real Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake acquired the homegrown rights to Diego Rocio, and he'll be part of Real Salt Lake's academy for the next couple of years. Let's have that conversation about Diego Luna, because okay. I think that Real Salt Lake, selfishly and strategically, I think Real Salt Lake should hold on to Luna until after the World Cup, or right before the World Cup.
That's hard to say, man. If the offer is there now, just like we talked about with Gomez, who's to say something doesn't go horribly wrong? Dip in form, injury, doesn't get called up, right? Like, so many things could happen that could ruin that chance for him. You have to strike while the iron's hot in a lot of these cases, and it's doing him a disservice to not do that.
There's a lot of variables there, sure, but if a guy like Mauricio Pochettino, who has said in the past that he values playing time and he values players actually being on the field and contributing, would it make a difference for Diego Luna to be the leader and the star of this Real Salt Lake team heading into that 2026 World Cup, or being a bench substitute player in a European league heading into that 2026 World Cup?
That's a very valid point for his potential spot at a World Cup.
Right.
I was more referencing for a move to Europe.
Sure. But at the same time, I totally get it. Like if an offer is if an offer is made this summer that you just can't say no to.
It has to be more than 10.
It has to be more than Gomez.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fair. Yeah, touche.
I think Gomez was 12, right? If I'm not mistaken.
All right, it's got to be 20 then.
Okay, well,
Personally, with me, I wouldn't be surprised if a team comes calling this summer and it was like, "Hey, we want Luna," but I could see us being like, "Okay, you guys can have him, but we want to loan him back for the rest of the summer, and then he can go to you guys in the winter." And so
and Real Salt Lake tried to do that with Andres Gomez, but it was Rennes who said no. It was Rennes who said no, we want him now, and didn't allow him to return to Real Salt Lake. So that's another issue that you have to look at if Diego Luna moves on this summer and Real Salt Lake do want to keep him on a loan, but the other team says no. We could be in a similar situation that we saw with Andres Gomez.
I guess the World Cup really isn't that far away.
No, it coming
feels
fast.
a lot farther. It feels a lot farther than it actually is.
It's next summer, man.
Yeah, so I mean, in that case, he could probably stay. Because, if he does get into the US team and performs in the World Cup, that value just skyrockets again, right?
I think if Diego Luna, and again, we're talking about a lot of hypotheticals, a lot can happen in between now and that World Cup. But if Real hold on to Luna until the World Cup and he makes that final World Cup roster, the value just jumped another 2-3 mil.
Easily. Maybe even 5. I mean, who knows?
Exactly.
It's a big deal.
You see that a lot with players, though. Like you say, he plays the World Cup. There's a lot of no names for like smaller countries in just other countries in general where they'll call up a no-name player and then they perform in the World Cup and all of a sudden they're at one of the best clubs in the world. Like we see that happen all the time. And that happened with Diego Luna.
Look at James, right?
I was about to say.
Yes.
Like not saying Colombia is a smaller country or whatever, but James, a relatively unknown player, has himself a World Cup, right? And then bam, transfer records, right? Just for his signature. Didn't really work out for him, but that's what the World Cup can do for you.
More recently, Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Right before he got the move to Chelsea, had a phenomenal
Alexis
World Cup.
McAllister.
Oh, there you go, man. There you go. So again, I think it would be more beneficial for Real Salt Lake, again, selfishly and strategically, to hold on to Luna until that World Cup comes. Because again, if he even just makes that roster, you can capitalize on that investment even more.
As long as we do right by Luna and we're not holding him hostage, right?
Right.
As long as we do right, I'm fine with whatever happens.
I'll be sad to see him go, man. I think the day that Luna leaves, I'll be more upset than I was when Andres Gomez walked away.
Not even close
Yeah.
to the same amount of sadness.
Oh, yeah. Kevin De Bruyne to Chicago. Is it going to happen? Will it happen? Will it not happen? We'll see.
They still can't defend, so
they still can't defend. And the latest is that Chicago now owns the discovery rights for De Bruyne. So
how soon can Chicago get their own soccer field, soccer stadium? That's what I want to know.
They have one. They moved out of it.
They did move out of it.
They moved out of Soldier Field?
No.
No. They had a soccer stadium. They had a soccer-specific stadium and they decided to leave it for Soldier Field.
So is that what that stadium is for their second team is?
And the Red Stars.
Yes. Yep.
That's crazy, dude.
And the NWSL team, yeah.
I mean, I understand using Soldier Field for like when you play Miami, but in general, they never fill up that stadium.
They never filled up the soccer specific one that sat 20,000. So
and that's why they left.
That makes no sense, but whatever.
Chicago.
I've been to the not Soldier Field, but I've been to a game at the other one. What was it, Toyota Park? No, was it Toyota Park?
It was Toyota, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Toyota for a minute. I think it's SeatGeek now.
Yeah, it very much felt like Dick's Sporting Goods Park, like same layout, feel.
I've been to Dick's Sporting Goods Park too, and I was not impressed.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Good is not a. I didn't like it either.
What's going on with LAFC and Club America, man? Apparently, FIFA has elected LAFC and Club America to play in a one-off playoff to fight for that final spot in the Club World Cup this summer. It's going to happen on May 31st at BMO Stadium in LA, no less. And effectively, the winner gets a potential at a $10 million. It gets the potential crack at a $10 million for qualifying to the Club World Cup.
Hey, you gotta keep the big markets, in the big tournaments, I guess.
I hate it.
It's terrible.
I hate it.
There's no merit.
Well, should they have just get them up to spot to who should they have given it to right away?
I don't know I don't know how they decided on these two teams. I don't know what these two teams did to qualify or earn this play-in match, but it feels like a team who more recently was runner-up in the CONCACAF Champions League or Champions Cup, like a Columbus, should have been there.
I agree.
Yeah, who played in the final? There you go.
LAFC is not good. I would rather have Vancouver be in that than LAFC.
Well, right now Vancouver doesn't have a way to qualify for it. If they win, here in a couple of days when they play that CONCACAF Champions Cup final against Cruz Azul, maybe that's a different conversation. And obviously that would earn them qualification for the next iteration of the FIFA World Cup, or Club World Cup. But coming into this one, right, why are we going back to the runners-up from 2021 and the runners-up from 2022 to play this game where Columbus, who were runners-up the last iteration of this tournament, and they didn't even get the nod. They didn't even get the look.
It's silly. It's again, who's going to make you the most money? That's who you're going to invite.
Yeah.
Like that's soccer, sadly, in a lot of ways.
FIFA in general. FIFA's all about the money. Qatar, for example.
It's unfair, man. It's unfair. I maybe it's just because it's LA and Club America, which are two clubs that notoriously are disliked around North American soccer. But I don't know. I think Columbus should have had a fair shot at it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We'll see who wins.
I personally really don't care. You know what I mean?
It's just another cash grab, man, for FIFA.
Yeah. It's not an interesting tournament to me. So unless RSL's in it, then I'm all in. But
yeah.
Let's take a look at some of the results from this weekend. Atlanta United with a 1-1 draw against Nashville. Dude, Atlanta.
They stink, bro.
Oh, man. New England with a 2-0 win over Toronto. Philadelphia with a 2-1 win over Montreal. Columbus 4-2 over Charlotte. DC United 2-1 over the Colorado Rapids. Phenomenal. Inter Miami with a 4-1 win over the New York Red Bulls. Minnesota 3-0 over Austin FC. Austin, another team that spent a lot of money on that attack and hasn't shown it yet this season.
At least they tried.
True.
Unlike someone else.
Chicago 0-0 against Orlando. How about San Diego putting up 5 against FC Dallas, man?
Wild.
Vancouver with a 2-1 win over Real Salt Lake. We'll get into that here momentarily. LAFC with a 2-0 win over Houston. San Jose 4-1 over Portland.
That one was surprising.
That one was surprising to me too, man. Portland was really hot coming into this one. And San Jose got their second, I guess, 4-goal win of the season. Seattle Sounders with a 4-1 win over St. Louis City. New York City FC with a 1-0 win over Cincinnati. Also kind of surprised by that one. And then the marquee matchup, Sunday Night Soccer, the one that MLS forced everybody to watch, was an absolute phenomenal against two of the best teams in the league type match. Sporting Kansas City and the LA Galaxy.
Whew, barn burner. Absolute barn burner. But hey, it gave us one of the greatest stats.
And to make it worse, Sporting Kansas City won 1-0 by not even taking a single shot. Not just on target, a shot period.
Isn't that amazing? And tell me that's not if the headline were to say Real Salt Lake wins 1-0 without taking a single shot. That's the most RSL thing ever, and that's the first thing I thought of. But what an abysmal match to force people to watch and grow the product of MLS. That'll do it.
I get, you made the schedule at the beginning of the season. You thought both of these teams were going to be better. Dejan Joveljic, playing against his former club. The headlines should have been there. Reality was they're not, because the Galaxy's still yet to win a game. And Sporting Kansas City, their attack has been so dreadful. So bad.
Worse than ours, which is saying something.
That just shows you how bad both teams are right now. LA Galaxy and Sporting Kansas City both stink so bad right now.
Is it time for Greg Vanney to go?
That's hard because you do have star players that are injured, right? Or star player.
Yeah, but 3 points to a title defense after 11 games.
And I mean, I know you had to quote unquote rebuild and lose some talent after you won MLS Cup, but your roster has good players on it still. You should still be eking out a game or two here and there.
It just seems like
Marco Reus is on the team, and you know what I mean?
Royce hasn't done a single thing.
Oh, he's the next Lampard Gerrard of MLS.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
We brought it up a few episodes back, man. It's time for people in LA. It's time for Galaxy fans to have the conversation that Marco Reus is about as ineffective as Diogo Gonçalves.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a great comparison.
I'd rather have Royce than Diogo though.
I think Diogo's actually put up a stat or two though.
Okay, I'm biased.
Which is the better DP, Marco Reus or Diogo Gonçalves?
Wow,
Royce has a championship.
But again, realistically, what did Royce contribute to that championship?
He came in the summer, so he was only there for part of the season.
He scored his first goal of the season last week against Portland. Besides that, no assists, no goals.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Diogo are pretty much right there.
I mean, they have the same amount of goals, but Diogo has a couple more assists, so.
I don't know, man. Galaxy got a lot to figure out, and I think it starts with figuring out your DP spots because it's not working out right now. Similarly to Real Salt Lake. Let's jump into that Vancouver match, shall we, guys?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a trap game, was it?
It was not a trap game. We were unfortunate.
It could have been.
It could have been.
We had some prime opportunity.
We did.
It was
some prime opportunity.
They made it seem like a trap game, putting Justin Glad at right back. So,
oh my God, we'll get into that. But I think that's the biggest failure of the game.
Rafa Cabral starting in goal. Justin Glad at right back. Philip Quinton, Sam Junca, Alex Catranis. That's your starting lineup as far as the back goes. In the midfield, Emeka Nelly, Brian Ojeda, Diego Luna, Xavier Gozo back-to-back starts, and Diogo Gonçalves on the left, and Ari Pule starting up top for Real Salt Lake. You know what, though? Prior to the game starting, I was okay with the lineup.
Outside of Justin Glad, I was. Yeah.
Even with Justin Glad there at the right back, I was fine with it. Because truly, I mean, what can you do? You can flip Quinton and put him at the right back position and slot Justin Glad in the middle. But the reality is, and we talked about it last week, You have no options at right back. You have no other options at right back.
You do, and it's obvious. And you have guys that can cover his position. You slide a McAnally over. You have to.
When worst case scenario, we have to put Anelli there because like that right back position is so bad. But it's like, okay, well, why would we put our best player there? But I think our best player has to go play right back, or things are just going to keep getting worse.
And not only that, but like you have decent depth behind Nelly. Anelli's still in the field. You can play Ruiz or Palacio in there, and they'll plug in just fine.
I agree.
You just put ourselves at a huge disadvantage right there with that one decision, right? And then I'm just going to rant here for a minute. 20 minutes into the game, it's clearly not working. Clearly. And we're just going to roll with it?
It was way before that. It wasn't working. It was not working even before that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, after 20 minutes, I was just absolutely over it. It wasn't working from the beginning, but 20 minutes in, you got to give it a minute, right? He might figure it out, might settle. It never settled. It was just, let's attack Justin Glad because you have Xavier Gozo in front of him. This is no slight to Gozo, but he's a young player, right? He's attacking. You don't have that relationship, and you're not a solid right back that has the knowledge and the ability to do what we expect the right back to do, and you're just getting pummeled down that side of the field. It made no sense to me that we just stuck with it, and we paid dearly.
Might as well just start Noel Caliscan at this point.
Honestly, though, and he got minutes somehow, so there's that.
I have to give a lot of praise and a lot of credit to Jesper Sorensen, who came in and took over the Vancouver Whitecaps basically days before preseason started. I remember it was like 2 days before everybody was supposed to report to preseason and like the preseason camps were about to start, and Vancouver didn't even have a head coach.
Listen, he's a magician.
The ownership situation is up in the air. They're still on, looking to be sold. And yet Sorensen has come in, former Brøndby head coach, by the way, has come in and has just turned this team into a miracle.
I still don't think it's sustainable.
It's not, no.
But while you have it and while you're riding it, go for it, man.
Get after it, right? Absolutely. And
you're sitting at the top of the table. You're about to play in a CONCACAF Champions Cup final after everybody this preseason
wrote you off completely. Yeah.
They weren't even starting their best 11 versus us. Just keep that in mind.
No, they absolutely were not. Brian White did not make an appearance, right?
Berhalter didn't play. He subbed in, but he didn't start.
And when he subbed in, he kicked our butt.
Yeah.
Also, who would have thought that Berhalter was going to be their best player?
Not me.
Hey, that guy's coming for Gio Reyna's spot right now.
That's a pretty easy spot to grab. Let's be real.
As long as it's not Diego Luna's, I'm fine.
You know what bummed me out about this Vancouver game, though?
What's up?
With how hot that team is, you'd think BC Place would be packed to the gills.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
I think, truthfully, I think that they need a soccer-specific stadium, man.
It would help.
Just a smaller soccer stadium
even the lower bowl, right?
Yeah.
Not even close to full. And you think with it's right in the middle of downtown. It's right there.
And I think BC holds 27.
Yeah.
Just in the lower bowl.
So, there's still a lot of people there, but you're riding this wave. You would think people would just be swarming. They'd be having to open the upper bowl. That bums me out for them. That's all.
And especially with, the Canucks being out. There's nothing else going on in Vancouver. Nothing else going on in Vancouver. Yeah. Go watch your team, man.
Yeah. They're about to play in one of the biggest, or the biggest game of their history, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But everyone, I'm looking at this Vancouver roster right now, and we've all overlooked them. This roster is actually so good on the eye, and seeing the way they are performing, I'm not surprised.
Without a star, without a name.
Tristan Blackman, your boy Tristan Blackman's been balling out,
Yeah,
looking like
you
one
know
of the
what,
best
though?
center backs in the league.
Shout out Tristan Blackman.
But like historically, right? He's always just been a good center back.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have taken that step to the next level under this new management team, Sorensen, right?
Yep.
And they're playing out of their minds. It's the craziest thing to see.
And how did Toronto lose Jaden Nelson?
Well, I think Jaden Nelson was overseas there for a little bit.
I don't. Let's see. Let me check.
I'm pretty sure he went.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he went.
He went to Norway
there
for a little bit and then came back.
I
That
wish
guy's
he
a
would've come
baller.
here. He's so good.
Jaden Nelson, I think. I don't know if because he played with Toronto and he has appearances for Toronto, I don't know if he would qualify for it. But if he does, Nelson has my vote for newcomer of the year for sure. So far.
They also have Emmanuel Sabi too, if you guys remember him at all. He played in Ligue 1 not too long ago.
American, yeah.
Yeah. He was kind of tearing it up, but he comes off their bench. He's not even a starter.
He was supposed to be their starter, but
Jaden Nelson.
Jaden Nelson, man, has taken that spot
I
around.
see why.
Yeah.
Ali Ahmed. Okay, we can stop talking about Vancouver, but yeah, they're good.
I was about to say we got to stop. This is the RSL show,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
We got to stop fangirling over Vancouver.
I'm jealous.
But what's incredible about the Vancouver roster, though, is it's very similar to how RSL builds teams.
I would agree.
That roster could easily be RSL's roster. And I think that's what kind of hurts a little bit, right? Like, why are they pulling it off right now and we're a dud? You know what I mean? We're the firework you light and it just doesn't go off.
Well, in this one, I think the answer is pretty simple. You got outcoached.
Clearly. By the starting 11, clearly.
Sorensen saw a weakness on that right wing side and had Nilsson and I can't even remember who was the left back, but just had him attacking that right wing for Real Salt Lake.
But Alex, this is the frustrating part for me. Anyone that watches this team or knows about RSL, they see the lineup and go, "Whoop." The opposing coach saw that, guarantee it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Why are we making it so easy?
Yep.
You throw in that curveball, you slide over a guy that's proven he can play right back, one of the best players on your team. You really muddy it up. You drop in a Ruiz, you drop in a Palacio, a little bit of a different dimension. And you try something new. Catch these guys off balance, right? Don't be so predictable.
There's a weird vibe right now, man.
Yeah, people are going to want his job gone. That's the vibe.
He's not going to get
yes.
re-signed if he keeps performing like this. His contract's up this year.
Well, I mean, like, look, the answer is simple. Ruiz and Nelson Palacio should have been playing in this game.
Yes. 100%.
But why aren't we seeing these guys on the field more? When's the last time we saw Nelson start?
It's been a while. We'd have to go to training, Alex, and we'd have to see how much effort they put in.
Okay.
Yeah. Insert generic PR answer. There you go.
I mean, it's what I said last week with Wolf, man, and Lachlan.
They suck. They're so bad. They're so bad, bro. They're absolutely dog. They're dog.
I think Lachlan. I think he has potential. It's not coming out right now. Wolf, I'm not a fan of. I agree. Jury's still out on Lachlan for me. But it's clear. I mean, Gozo's clearly taken that spot. He's taking it from Dominic, and he's looked the part. So,
and Dominic's a guy who's been getting call-ups to the Polish national team.
Kind of love to see it.
Something I would like is Gozo going to play left wing as well. Boot Diogo out of the starting 11. Pit Gozo there. And pit Mark.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to go back to that conversation we had. I think you were out, actually, Carson. But I was talking to Josh, and we were like, hey, drop Diogo.
Can you imagine Gozo and Catranis just getting after teams on that left side? Ooh, buddy.
Whole lot of speed on that side.
Are we too afraid to drop our DP? I don't get it.
The DP who's not working out right now.
I don't get it. The coach is criticizing him in press conferences, right? Not directly. Kind of directly. Like, drop him.
It's gotten a little bit more direct lately.
Yeah, drop him. Prove a point. Drop him.
Yeah.
Give us a better shot to win.
Yeah.
He's not it. And the hate is justified at this point. Not saying that I hate him, but like, he doesn't deserve a starting spot on this team right now.
I would agree.
I would like to see Barrera start again as well, because the Pio is not doing anything.
I'd rather see Agata start, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
I think that's going to happen. That's going to happen sooner than we think.
I think that happens this weekend.
I think so too. It has to.
Yeah.
Right? I want Pio to be successful, but it ain't it right now.
Oh man, the way
results.
He looked so promising after the first 2 games?
Yeah, that Seattle game especially.
And yes. And then he gets the red card, and since then, man, he's just not the same.
No, and there's no hold-up play with him.
No.
He doesn't make the right run. He was on the field for that ball that rolled across the goal line, right? No one's home.
I hate to use this word for a young guy who has, things to learn, room to grow.
Not giving up on him.
No. But he's ineffective.
Yeah, he's just a body. Him and Diogo are bodies out there.
He's so ineffective right now. And that needs to change.
Absolutely does. And I think clearly that's why Willie Agata's here, right? But is he going to do any better? I mean, I don't know. Has been ineffective for his little runs, but that's not necessarily his fault. I'm not jury is very much still out on that one.
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes of playtime, you can't really make a decision, but at least he can hold the ball up.
Willie Agata is supposed to be the guy who's going to get us to the summer.
Okay.
And then we'll see if they decide to bring in a DP9.
There's no we'll see if they do it. They need to do it.
They do need to do it. But we'll see. Justin Glad absolutely getting ran through and put on skates by Jaden Nelson on that first goal, man.
Can't even be mad at him. The coach put him in that position.
Yeah.
You know their left wing has speed. So let's put a lumbering center back out there.
I think it's funny that the reason why Justin Glad was put at that right back position was because of his speed.
I mean, he is fast for a center back. He's quick.
Right.
But when someone's running at you full speed, pulling off some skill moves, right? You're not running a 40. You're running backwards or side to side. And this guy's turning you and twisting you. It's so much different. And just pure speed isn't going to do anything for you there.
Yeah, who cares if he's the fastest center back in the league if you can't do anything at right back when you're starting there?
Questionable decision.
Very questionable.
Questionable decision.
I think that decision cost us the game. I really do.
I think so too, man. And I get it, but I don't know if I appreciate the answer that was given as to why it was Justin Glad.
For those who don't know, Alex, what was the answer?
Because he's the fastest defender we have.
Stupid. That's very much let's play the long ball answer. That's all I know about sports. So who's fastest? You do it.
It just doesn't make it. I don't know.
But again, you make that decision. Okay, start him. Try it out.
Why isn't anything changed after 20 minutes? It's not working.
Make an adjustment. Yeah. Burn a sub. I don't care.
The only reason why Rauslik's not going into the halftime break down 3-0 or 4-0 is because Rafa Cabral, again, standing on his absolute freaking head and makes some glorious saves.
He's absolutely incredible. I think we've said that every single week.
Where would we be without the man?
And last?
We're just sitting right there with Yellow Galaxy, probably. Honestly.
Imagine that Zach being Zach McMath, man.
No, thank you. We have a lot to talk about, but yeah, godsend Rafa Cabral has been. Although he did concede us a penalty, but made up for it.
We'll get there. Purely though, first half performance, first half man of the match, Rafa Cabral, hands down, no question. I think next for me, as like our best performer, best contributor, whatever you want to call it, Xavier Gozo, man.
Absolutely, he was incredible.
41st minute, Gozo has the ball on the right wing, crosses it in, back post. Catranis times the run perfectly with Catranis, who's running into the back post all by himself. Catranis just can't redirect it well, can't put it on frame. Misses an open net situation because Takaoka's at his near post, right? The whole back side of his goal is completely exposed. You just can't put it on net, man.
Yeah,
and it should have been the equalizer.
It should have been. This isn't as painful as someone missing an open net with their foot.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Right. The angle was still kind of wild. Yeah. Right. It's a very clear-cut opportunity, though. I wish he would have scored it. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, he probably does.
I wish he just would have put it on target. It was a perfect ball right to your head. Make the keeper make a save.
I think he was trying to be. I think he was trying to be too precise. He was really going for those top bins, right? And he didn't need to. But again, that happens so fast. I probably wouldn't even hit the ball with my head, let's be real. But unfortunate.
And I think to everybody listening out there, just because Alex Catranis missed one opportunity doesn't make him a terrible player. I saw the hate online.
Oh, my Lord.
I saw the hate on social media. He's a defender. He's a left back who just found himself in a good opportunity. He's not a 9 who's day by day scoring goals like that in training, right? He's a defender.
You know where that comes from,
just because he misses one doesn't mean he's a bad player.
You know what that comes from, though?
Where does that come from?
That comes from the overall performance of the team, and fans are getting so frustrated that, any little mistake, oh, this player isn't good enough because the team's not performing.
Yeah.
You got to have some, think a little bit before you make such judgments. He's been one of the best left back RSL's ever had. I'll die on that hill. So him missing one chance, let's simmer down a bit.
Yeah, I think a lot of what I'm seeing on social media is a lot of fans are just frustrated. They want to win, and they're going to take it out on whoever they feel like, you miss a chance, they're going to take it out on you. That's just where we're at right now.
Yep.
Yeah. 60th minute, VAR goes and checks a potential penalty against Xavier Gozo, or I guess in favor of Xavier Gozo. I agree with the VAR on this one.
Same. I think you tripped.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything there. I saw people on social media complaining about this one too, but I do agree with the official. Think is the right call. I
see Carson smirking.
Carson?
That's because at first I looked at it first glance and I'm like, oh, that's a penalty. And everyone's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a penalty because from what I was seeing, I looked like he got clipped. And then everyone's like, no, you might need to look again. And I was like, yeah, I got shut up pretty quickly.
Did you get flack online for saying it was a pen?
Yeah, I got called blind, and I was pretty blind.
No, this one I agree with it, man. This one it seems like he just kind of tripped over himself trying to cut inside. And
I look at it as if that was to go against RSL, I'm livid.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Moments later, VAR gets involved again.
There's a lot of VAR this game, man.
It was. Honestly, before we get into the PK, There was a lot of VAR. There was a lot of official decisions. And look, I appreciate them trying to get the calls right in this one, because I think for the most part, the officials did a really good job compared to what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. So thank you. But it made the game difficult to watch. There was a lot of stoppages.
A lot of them.
It just felt so choppy.
And anytime that's the case, it just kills any kind of momentum a team may be building.
100%.
Any kind of confidence. It's super frustrating. Necessary, but frustrating.
Yeah. Moments later, Cabral gets whistled for a penalty. Josh?
I mean, he touched the ball.
Carson?
He touched the ball. He just got more of the player, but he got the ball.
Yeah, and in my goalkeeper book of truths, all you have to do is get some kind of piece of you on that ball, and you're in the clear. But no, it's a penalty. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe I wasn't 100% paying attention, or maybe I missed the angle where he touched the ball. But from the angles that I saw,
It comes off his left fingertips a bit.
I don't know if he got it, man.
It's after the player's been taken out, though.
Oh, see, then
Yeah.
first contact, man.
Yep.
First contact. I do agree with this one. Basically, just another way to say that I do agree with this one. It is a penalty, but Rafa Cabral, man, where would we be without you?
Ball don't lie, which means he did touch it, right?
Cabral comes up, pushes the penalty off the post, denies Daniel Rios from making it 2-0. Saves the PK. Crab comes off the post, but then moments later, what happens, Josh?
Vancouver scores anyway.
The cross is played in. My boy Tristan Blackman, all by himself inside the box, rifles it into the top corner. It's 2-0 Vancouver. And at this point, I think the sentiment was pretty clear online. You knew it was going to be a loss. And I think a lot of people stopped tuning in after this.
And pack it up. I thought about it. I was like, I could be playing some video games and just have this on the iPad.
Hey, that's what I do.
No, I'll endure.
That's what I do, Josh, and I've been a lot happier doing that.
My problem is, why are we yet again having an opposing player completely unmarked in the box?
It seems like an issue from last year that just has still yet to be fixed. Am I wrong?
What are we waiting for?
Am I wrong?
No.
Coaching. What are we doing in training? Are we not practicing set pieces, marking? Like we put Glad at right back, and then he's marking like a center back. You guys saw that in the game, right? Where he left Jaden Nelson wide open to go mark the guy that Philip Quinton was marking.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Which, I mean, that one, it's instinct, I guess. You're a center back. You've played center back. You've played that role.
How old is he?
Your entire life.
You got to make sure someone's covering the guy you're supposed to be covering, though.
You got to be versatile.
You got that instinct to just drift inside a little bit because that's what you're used to.
No, Alex, stop giving him the benefit of the doubt, bruh.
This is all coaching.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that one. Again, runner left completely unmarked inside the box. It's a conversation we've had a million times before, Josh.
How long has Pablo been here? Is this year 5?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, man.
Year 5.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Oh, we got an over it. We got an over it. 11 games into the season.
That's all 5 years, bro.
Dude, but Josh is valid though. You know, we've built up over these years to this season where, you know, we were in the Champions Cup. We could have been in the US Open Cup. And what other cups were we in? Like, we've had a lot of chances.
I think that's the most frustrating thing about this all. Is you really were a player away from being a true contender.
We were a true contender for half of the season last year.
Right.
But it's becoming clearer and clearer and clearer that informed Chicho was the only reason we were good. And again, we have good players. We have guys performing, but it's not coming together. And you're still missing that player. If he really were a coach that was going to pull us through this, we'd be finding ways to win. We wouldn't see us rolling out the same thing every week, getting the same result every week. We'd be trying something new, moving guys around, appropriately moving guys around, making an adjustment when things aren't working. And we're just like back in the day when substitutions were an issue with him and making adjustments, mid-game. I feel like we're circling back to that. And it's really irritating, man. Like we could taste it there for a minute and it's just been ripped right away from us again.
Yeah. It seems like just overall this, they've taken like 5 steps back, man.
Yeah.
We're back where we
every game
started.
is 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
Or probably 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Yeah. Let's
5 steps back.
I don't know. I would love to hear from a player like off the record how the locker room actually is. Right. And again, I like Pablo. I think he's great. He's a great motivator. But that motivation clearly only goes so far. Right. And barring them going on an absolute tear through the summer and end of the season, there's a pretty good chance this team doesn't make the playoffs. In the current direction we're steering.
And, I think based on what we've seen so far through 11 games across the Western Conference, there's better teams. It's clear that everybody else in the West got better, except the teams below Real Salt Lake.
Yep. I'd agree.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have a lot of faith we'll win Rocky Mountain Cup this year. Like that's how down in the dumps I'm feeling about this team. And I hate it.
Well, and I think the thing that stood out for me the most against this Vancouver side was that once you're down 2-0, I mean, there's still a bit of fight and a bit of a spark in the attack, but truly there's no answers on the attack either.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like the guys are putting their effort in, right? The coaching staff hasn't figured out how to get them over that hump, how to put them in the right places. How many times have we heard that Pablo wants Diogo and Diego to be, box crashing 9s or whatever, or 10s? Have we seen that?
I haven't seen that at all from Diogo.
Okay, so swap him out. Put someone in that will. And that's the issue, right? It's all the same plan with the same result.
It seems like no adjustments have been made or are being made. Yeah.
It's just we were talking about it, and I just feel like we worked all the way up to get to where we wanted to be, and we just took a big poop. Like we're like we had all this time. No, but like okay, we took a big okay, and we had all this time
man.
to work our way up and find players. And then, the Chicho situation happened. Okay, but you guys had time to find a good Chicho replacement. And then we go into the season kind of just half and everything. And I'm sorry. If this is me, okay? Alex, if you want to get my real explanation, I got to say some swear words. But we had all this time. We go and play Herdino, whatever the heck team, the team from Herediano, and we lose. That should have been our first wake-up call.
I think it was.
We didn't do anything about it.
Not the wake-up call for the team, for the fans.
Yeah.
Right? And I know I went on this big, long rant a few weeks ago about the striker situation and giving him the benefit of the doubt. But when this last window closed and we got Willie Agata, right? That goodwill kind of vanishes pretty quick. You know what I mean? So I know the ownership changed, blah, 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 blah. But man, it's inexcusable not to replace Chicho at this point. Almost a year on from his suspension, right? Like, goodness gracious.
We sold Gomez, Chicho, Crooks. Who else did we get rid of? We sold all these guys and didn't really even replace them. We've tried replacing Chicho with 3 strikers now, and only one of them has a goal. And then Ajago is freaking in the USL now.
Speaking of which, I don't think Ajago will ever play for Real Salt Lake ever again.
No, definitely not. He definitely will not.
Yeah, I think his time as a RSL man is done and dusted. Yeah, look, it's frustrating because coming into the season and in the preseason, we were told that this is the deepest Real Salt Lake has ever been.
Don't we hear that every year though? Like, don't you get kind of tired of hearing that?
Yeah,
it's almost like it's become a joke, right, amongst people. Like,
oh no, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, deepest team every year, deep.
But I think if you really had depth, it wouldn't be struggling as much as you are right now.
If we really had depth, we would not have essentially no defenders right now.
So I feel like we're back to last season where at one point we didn't even have center backs. Now we don't have outside backs.
See, but here's the crappy part about that, Carson. When Real Salt Lake didn't have center backs last season, they were still winning games.
Yep.
And you can get over it.
So what's changed though? Like, what has changed? Was Chicho that big in our team where we at one point we didn't even have center backs, but we have Chicho, we have Luna, we're still gonna win.
Something magical happens when you have a guy that'll score whenever he apparently wants to, unless it's after a suspension. It changes the way teams play you. If a team is not afraid of you scoring on them, they're going to come at you. And that's what we're seeing.
I would agree. I think last year we saw plenty of games where Real Salt Lake took advantage of other teams being afraid of conceding. Look at that Atlanta game at home last year, 5-1, man. And that's all because Real Salt Lake just went pedal to the metal, and Atlanta defensively was not good last year, so they tried to overcompensate, and you were able to get 5 past Atlanta. You're not seeing that.
Yeah, but Atlanta, we beat them 5-1, but who went farther in the playoffs?
Right, but this is us assuming that Chicho would have continued his form through the entire season.
Right? I have an issue with this conversation. If we relied on Chicho Arango that much last season, and if Real Salt Lake relied that much on Arango last year, then I think that's a massive failure on Kurt Schmidt and the front office and Pablo to not have a different way to play.
Welcome to what we're saying.
Yeah.
Well, you sell Andres Gomez for $12 million, but I understand Markchuk was his replacement, and Andres Gomez when he first came in, he struggled, but it's Markchuk got his spot taken by Xavier Gozo right now. But okay, so what are we doing with that $12 million?
Putting a playground in somewhere?
Yeah, probably building some futsal courts.
I don't know. It sucks. Because, again, a lot of solid pieces, man. But if you're not scoring goals and you're not stout defensively, and that's kind of a bigger part of it too, is you can get by not scoring goals, but you can't concede. And we're not good at on either end.
Defense wins championships, man.
Yep.
You know what pisses me off though, guys, is we had the excuses of before even the ownership changed. We were like, okay, we are still trying to find that Chicho replacement. Okay, we bring in Piol and Ajago. Okay, we got the Anderson Julio replacement. Manuel gone. Okay, so we're finding all these excuses. Okay, well, we still need that replacement. Okay, you guys had time to get that replacement, and then the Boa Vista thing happened. Understandable. Okay, we got Ajaga, but now we need like an actual DP9, and then the excuse is, oh, sorry, ownership change. And now it's going to be like, that's going to be the next excuse. It's be like, why aren't we getting players in? Oh, sorry, ownership change. Okay, but what's the next excuse after that? I feel like we're just getting an excuse after an excuse to why we're not bringing in certain players.
Well, we'll have to see how serious the Millers are.
Yeah, and that's going to be the next excuse. Oh, like they're not a serious.
But then we'll hate the owners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which will suck because who else is actually going to buy Real Salt Lake and keep him in Utah? So, rock in a hard place, man. They want to bring in a bunch of Donovan Mitchells. But unfortunately, I don't think they realize that the MLS draft is like the NBA draft. So, yeah.
Real Salt Lake 11th place, 4 wins, no draws, 7 losses, 12 goals scored, 17 conceded, -5 goal differential with just 12 points on the season.
How long until Pablo out becomes a thing? Because if this was any other head coach, we're probably screaming already. Are we giving him too much benefit of the doubt right now?
Yes.
I think we are, but I'm not there yet.
I've been there for a long time. I just keep my mouth shut.
What's going to take to get you there, Alex?
I think
4 and 10.
I think. What's that?
4 and 10. Will that get you there?
I think that probably would do it.
Get there.
I think that probably would do it. But I mean, I think this is the conversation changes if the Boavista thing didn't happen. If Bosnick is in,
I don't think it does.
And Bosnick is scoring goals.
Honestly, kind of thankful that move fell through. I know we talked about it. I didn't have a lot of faith that he was going to come in and change RSL. He wasn't doing it in Portugal.
I didn't either, but at the same time, the judgment is reserved until that DP spot is filled.
Okay, so if it doesn't get filled, then what? Do we blame the coach? Do we ride or die with the coach, or do we get mad at the owner?
Then Pablo and Kurt out, man. At that point,
it just feels like a mess.
It is a mess. It feels like there's no plan right now.
Feels accurate.
Yeah, feels like there's no plan right now, and I think that's, again, what's the most frustrating thing, considering that you were at the top of the Western Conference table about a year ago, right? I think May was Real Salt Lake was in the middle of a 13-game winning streak or 14-game winning streak, however many it was. Literally a year ago, you were the number 1 team in the Western Conference, and you have mightily fallen off.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the most frustrating thing. Who's next? Real Salt Lake on the road.
FC Dallas.
At FC Dallas. We owe FC Dallas one, man. Or they owe us one.
It's a winnable game, and they owe us for Julio.
However you want.
They owe us for Julio.
Well, no, I mean, they owe us for the crap decision to send off Ari Piol 20 minutes into the game.
Also that.
That ultimately led to a 1-0 win for FC Dallas here at America First Field. So Real Salt Lake owes FC Dallas one. You have to go out there and you have to get 3 points.
It's a very winnable game. This game will be very telling as to like what's really going on behind the scenes, right? This isn't You don't have the built-in excuse of it's Vancouver, the best team in the league right now. You're playing a team that just got beat 5-1. So
hopefully Philip Quinton knows how to mark Lucho Acosta this game.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully Brian Vera's healthy and it's Vera. I'm glad.
But and the way that I see it, I mean, right now this is a Dallas team who is struggling. They're 9th place, 15 points. They're 3 points ahead of you. This is the teams you have to be beating.
Have to.
Because I mean, they're right there within striking distance. They're in 9th place. They have that final play-in spot. This is the ground you should be making up if you want to consider yourself a play-in team. If you want to consider yourself a playoff team, right? It's a must-win for Real Salt Lake.
Any game positions 7 through 11 or 12 now? Is it 12?
I'd go down to say 14, man.
Okay, yeah.
14th spot. let me put
I
this
forget
into
there's
context real
14.
quick.
This league is getting too big.
No, it's 15.
Oh my
now.
God.
Let me put this into context. Separating 14th place and 8th place, just like it was last season, or excuse me, 6th place. 6th place and 14th place is a mere 6 points.
Good Lord. But that realistically means any game you play in that range is a must win. Any game until you can claw your way up there and build a buffer.
You win one of those games, you can see yourself climbing, and you can, position yourself in that 6 to 9 range and essentially make yourself a playoff team. You lose those games, you could be falling down all the way to 14th place, man.
Basement.
And let's put that scenario out there for people, right? If Real Salt Lake fails to win this weekend, and you get a win from Sporting Kansas City, you get a win from St. Louis, and you get a win from Houston, you're in 14th place. And the only reason you're not bottom feeders and bottom dwellers is because the Galaxy is much worse than you are.
It's big yikes, bro.
Must-win territory?
It's been must-win territory, but it's like code red already.
Yeah, the alarms are sounding, and we are, what is it, DEFCON 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm there.
Yeah.
Carson?
Yeah. I'm. It's like it's even hard for me to watch a game. It's hard for me to show up to a game, and it's hard for me to watch a game because that's just like how upset I am. It's not fun. I was told this team was supposed to be the most depth we've ever had in RSL history. I feel like I was lied to, and it's just like sucks. I'm just like, how are you going to say things like that? And now look how we're performing. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think that's going to do it, guys. Any predictions for this weekend?
I hope we lose. Just kidding. Maybe I think we're going to get our first draw.
I'm going to say 3-3.
3-3.
That means we'd have to score 3 goals, dude.
Hey, they did it against San Diego.
Yeah, that was our one every 6 months.
Gozo's going to score 1.
I would love a Gozo goal.
I'll go 1-1 with a Gozo goal. I like that. That's where I'm going.
Man, I wish we would have brought in Fidel Barajas on loan. He would probably be doing so much better than Diogo, dude.
He played on the right, though.
I forgot about Fidel.
Played on the right. He's with DC right now, isn't he?
He's with DC. He's on loan. He's on loan to DC.
It's wild.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us here on the RSL Show. Do you guys have anything else that you want to say? Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to put out there before we wrap this one up?
We're burning. It's a dumpster fire.
Josh.
Nah, I said my piece.
There you go. And with that, we'll conclude today's edition of the RSL Show here on the KSL Sports Network. Don't forget to go like, don't forget to go subscribe, don't forget to go do what you have to do to follow the RSL Show on the KSL Sports Network for the best RSL content. We'll talk to you guys next week following this FC Dallas game.